Hi everyone, my name is Emily. I never thought I'd be sharing something this personal, but sometimes life forces you to face truths you never wanted to see. Today I want to tell you about my marriage. 10 years of love, family and dreams. And the secret I uncovered that changed everything. I hope by sharing my story maybe some of you can relate, and maybe you can help me figure out what to do next. For the longest time I believed I had the perfect life. My husband and I had been together for 10 years, and we had a beautiful little boy, now 7 years old, who was the light of our lives. Our home smelled like comfort, fresh bread in the morning, coffee brewing, and the quiet chaos of children's toys scattered everywhere. Every morning, I'd wake up to the sound of our son playing quietly in his room and my husband getting ready for work. We had breakfast together, trying to keep the little traditions alive, talking about the day ahead, sharing small moments. In the evenings, he'd play with our son, read him stories, and put him to bed. I thought we were truly happy. Our home felt like a safe island in a crazy world. We dreamed of a big family, trips to the beach, a house with a garden where our son could run barefoot in the grass. I thought I knew everything about him, his past, his habits, his friends. But sometimes even the strongest foundations hide cracks inside. At first, I brushed off the little things. He was working longer hours. Everyone does sometimes, right? But then he started hiding his phone. I noticed how he'd suddenly put it away or leave the room when it rang. One evening, we were about to watch cartoons with our son, and he stepped out for a moment, leaving his phone on the table. The screen lit up, and I saw a name I didn't recognize, with a message that didn't make sense to me. I quickly looked away, trying to pretend I hadn't seen it. But the uneasy feeling grew inside me. He started acting more distant, secretive. Sometimes he'd get up and leave the room when his phone rang. Once I caught him typing something on his tablet and instantly closing it when he noticed me looking. I felt scared and confused. When I tried to talk to him, he was short and irritable. "I'm just tired," he said. But I knew it was more than that. I started paying close attention. He said he had a business trip to a nearby city, but I saw his car parked somewhere completely different. His phone held messages from women I didn't know, and his planner had addresses he never mentioned. I felt like a detective in my own life, but each new clue hurt more than the last. Our son asked why his dad was so quiet and why I was sad, and I had no answers for him. Finally, I took a deep breath and looked through his phone. Among the messages was a name I'd never heard before, and screenshots where he called himself by a completely different name. My world started to crumble. One day, while he was away on a trip, I stayed home with our son. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it would explode. I opened his laptop, hoping against hope I was wrong. Inside a hidden folder, I found photos of him with another woman, not me, and a child I'd never seen. Documents with a different name, messages about his other life, his family, and a home he kept secret. I sat there, phone in hand, tears streaming down my face. How could he live a double life for 10 years? How could he betray me, our son, our family like that? I was shattered, lost, and overwhelmed by questions with no answers. When he came home that evening, everything inside me was shaking. I had spent the entire day rehearsing what to say, going over every word, every scenario. And yet, when I finally saw his face, I almost broke down. Not because I forgave him, but because I still recognized the man I loved. And that hurt more than anything. He walked in like nothing had happened, kissed our son on the forehead, and smiled at me. That smile made my stomach turn. I asked him calmly to come into the living room. Just the two of us. I didn't want our son to see or hear what was about to happen. I showed him the photos, the documents, the messages. I watched the color drain from his face. For the first time in 10 years, he had nothing to say. First there was silence. Then he whispered, "I can explain." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I couldn't believe he had the audacity to try. Explain. What could possibly make this okay? I remember every word of that conversation like it was burned into my brain. I didn't mean to hurt you, Emily. I didn't know how to stop. It started before we even got serious. And then I met you. And I loved you. I still do. But by then it was too late. I was already involved. Involved. You had a second family. You have a child. You've been lying to me every day, every night for 10 years. 10 years. He cried. I didn't. Couldn't. I was too angry, too stunned. He told me that he met the other woman years ago before we even met, and they had a child he never told me about. He said he thought it wouldn't last, that they were drifting apart, but when she got pregnant, he felt trapped. Then he met me, and everything changed. He claimed he tried to end things with her, but then the child was born, and he felt like he couldn't just walk away. So instead he built two lives. Two lives. And he thought if he kept everything perfectly separated, we would never find out. You were the life I wanted. The family I chose, he said. But we weren't a choice. We were your cover story. He said he loved me. That he still does. That he was afraid every single day I'd find out and leave. I asked him what was real, if anything we had was ever real. Our wedding, the birth of our son, the late-night talks, our family vacations. Was it all just one big performance? He said no. He swore our life was the only thing that kept him sane. But how do you believe someone who's lied so masterfully for a decade? I looked at him. This man I trusted more than anyone in the world, and all I saw was a stranger. And yet part of me still loved him. That's the most confusing, painful part of betrayal. It doesn't kill love instantly, just poisons it slowly. And the worst moment was when our son came into the room, rubbing his sleepy eyes and asking, "Mommy, why are you crying?" I couldn't answer him. I didn't even know what to say. The days that followed were a blur. Barely slept. I kept looking at our son, his innocent little face, and wondering what this would do to him. Would he grow up feeling broken? Would he blame himself? Would he hate his father someday? Or worse, become like him? My husband begged for forgiveness. He said he'd leave the other woman. He said he'd never speak to her again. But how do I trust any of that now? For 10 years, I believed I was married to an honest, loyal man. If he fooled me then, what's stopping him from doing it again? I started writing down everything I was feeling, just to make sense of it all. Some days I feel like I should walk away, take my son, rebuild our lives, and never look back. But then I think about the life we've built. The memories, the love, our child. Is it really so easy to throw it all away? Other days I feel like maybe I should try to forgive. For the sake of our son. For the life we had. But how do you rebuild a marriage when the very foundation was a lie? I can't stop replaying things in my head. Birthday parties, date nights, quiet mornings together. Were those moments real? Or was he pretending the whole time? What scares me most is the future. If I stay, will I ever stop questioning him? Will I ever feel safe again? If I leave, will I regret it later? Will my son lose his father? I've talked to a therapist. I've talked to friends. But everyone has a different opinion. Some say I should run. That a man who can lie for 10 years doesn't deserve a second chance. Others say people make mistakes, even huge ones, and that families can heal if there's love left. But I honestly don't know what to do. So I'm turning to you, whoever's watching this. Maybe you've been through something like this. Maybe you've seen someone close go through it. Or maybe you just have a different perspective I need to hear. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you leave him? Or try to forgive? How do you protect your child when your own heart is broken? Please share your thoughts and advice in the comments. I don't have the answers right now, but maybe together we can figure out what comes next. Thank you for listening to my story.